Well, hello there. Good afternoon to you all. So, I kinda decided to make more two videos about my greatest anime series segments. So, this first series that ranks fifth place on my top 20 anime series or yes top 20 anime greatest series of all times. It was a series that I do watched in a very complicated moment on my life, uh, and it was right after I start work, and then I did lose my job. And it was a pretty fucked up moment in my life. In any case, I entered in kinda, I will not say a severe depression, but a light depression after that. And it took time for me to pull out of it. And it was during that meantime that I do watched this series. And this series kinda um, reminded me that there are other situations in life that made our problems look smaller compared to that. And in a strange way, this series was one of the reasons why I was able kinda to begin break from that depressive cycle. Uh, and well, the series I'm talking about is a series called Clannad, or in Japanese, Kuranado. And it's a Japanese visual novel that was developed by K and was released in April of 24. Um, and we have this is the game they release. Then we have a light novel that was written by Jun Maeda, Yushi Suzumoto, and others. Uh, Also, we have a manga illustrated by Juri Mazaki, and we have another manga, another story, and a third one also. Then I watched the television series, the first one, that aired from 4th of October of 27 to 27 of March of 28, and has 23 episodes. And the series was directed by Tatsuya Ishihara, and it was developed by Kyoto, the studio Kyoto Animation. Also, later on, they did a sequel of this called Clannad After Story, and this time and in the process they also released OVA. Um, and Clannad After Story was directed by Tatsuya Ishihara, and again, and it was the same studio, Kyoto Animation, that made this series, like they also did the OVA. And this second season, Planet After Story, has 24 episodes and ran from 3 of October of 28 to 26 of March of 29. And later on, they released another OVA in 29, Uh, and basically, this is a story that the first part of the story basically is revolving around a guy called Tomoya Okazaki. That is a guy that is finished high school and does not like his own life. And because when he was very young, his mother died, and his father kinda, to cope with the death of his wife, kinda turned to alcohol and to gambling, and has frequent fights with his son during the time they were living together. And he also kinda, one time they were fighting, and the father of Tomoya kinda pushed him against a window and dislocated Tomoya's shoulder. Um, but after that, the father treated this, his son nicely, but all this situation kind of makes their relation very awkward. And this is also bad because this injury kind of prevented Tomoya to get in club activities and so on, because he likes basketball, but he cannot play basketball because of his shoulder. And usually does not care about school activities and such. Uh, and he also has a close friend called Yue Sunohara that was expelled from the soccer club, and kind of the two make a pair, and usually they kind of live. They are kind of outcasts in high school because they do not take part in any club activities. They don't have a lot of friends and such. And this basically the story starts uh, on 14th of April of 23, in the beginning of a new school year, and this is when Tomoya meets a girl called Nagisa Furukawa that is a year older than him, but she kinda was forced to withdraw from school last year because she got sick. Uh, and she wants to join the drama club, but then she found that the drama club was disbanded. There were no longer any members that wanted to be part of that club, and the club disappeared. And his dream of this girl is to kinda revive the drama club. And during the process, this guy Tomoya kind of decides to help her out, jointly with this other guy Yowei, and they also met a lot another other girls that eventually these they kind of made the drama club revive again. But when all appeared to be fine, um, Furukawa kinda got sick near the end of the year, and she was unable to attend the exams, and she kinda lose another year. And but their friends and Tomoya and others kinda kept going forward and make the dream of her of having a play and having the drama club reinstated and so on. They kind of make that reality. And the second series called After Story uh, starts after the end of the first season, and starts immediately after the end of the first part. And in this situation, these guys, Tomoya kind of finishes off high school, but Furukawa Nagisa was again enrolled at school, and she was alone. And eventually, this second season spans from 7 years, And the first part is the year where Tomoya is able to finish off high school, and she kind of meets Tomoya, and even Tomoya kind of began working for these guys' parents that have a bakery, and eventually they start living together and they marry it. And then Tomoya has to cope with several difficulties due to Nagisa's ill health. And then there is a child that is born that has a little daughter called Ushio. However, Nagisa those dies in childbirth, and Tomoya fell into a great depression, and basically the parents of Nagisa uh, take care of their grandchild of Ushio, and 5 years later after that, Tomoya meets Shino Okazaki, his grandmother from his father's side, and is then that he learn about what happened to his mother and why his father was the way he was. Uh, and then Tomoya kind of decides to raise his daughter and recognizes or accepts that Nayuki is his father. Uh, After that, he regains his purpose of living, because, but then again, bad luck appeared because Ushio possesses the same disease as his mother. Uh, then we see the struggle of Tomoya, Sanae, and Akio, that were the parents of Nagisa, trying to save Ushio. And Tomoya gives up his job, but all the efforts are future. And then in the winter, he kind of decides to take Ushio on a trip, and but then the child dies. And then we have the psychological effect, the psychological drama of all this situation. Then we have kind of, I will not say supernatural stuff, but something, because he keeps Tomoya has dreams about lights, orbs of light, illusionary walls, and so on. And then eventually, during these psychological mind situations, he kind of goes collecting some lights, and this means helping others. And during the process of helping out others, he kind of has the possibility to bring back Nagisa and Ushio to life. And eventually, this series has a happy ending with Nagisa reviving, Ushio reviving, and the three being a happy family. However, this last part of the series was the most strange part, but during great part of the two series, we see Tomoya and Nagisa how they meet each other, their relation development, they help each others. We do those characters, and this story kind of grows in us. And I do recognize that this series was one of the few exceptions that I cried, and I cried a lot when, for instance, Nagisa died, but I cried even more when Ushio died because I was kinda in the. I was able to put myself on the shoes of this main character, and I honestly think that probably if something like this will ever happen to me on life, I will not be able to handle it, and probably I will shoot myself up, most likely. But the psychology, the story, the situation, the relation between these two characters, their relation build up, their happiness, then their sadness, then the death of Nagisa, that we clearly see that Tomoya does love, and then losing the only daughter of that love, it's beyond fact up. So, and this series is great. A romantic, is a romantic tragedy. It's a drama. Also is also fantasy, and these two series, Clannad and Clannad After Story, uh, for all the story that is involved and in terms of personal impact that had in my life, this series was able to topple down my former fifth in my top 20 greatest anime series of all times. So, if you do not know this series, I highly recommend that you do watch this series. You will feel uh, the story, you will feel the characters, you will feel the drama, you will feel the psychology, and you do actually you will eventually question yourself in the lines that what I will do if some stuff like this happened in my life. And this is a great series, intense series, and honestly, it's also behind fucked up. Uh, but it's very good. And honestly, in my opinion, this series deserves, without a doubt, the fifth place on my top 20 greatest anime series of all time. So, these are my thoughts about it. Hope you enjoy. Stay well. Peace. See you soon.